That's all.
Well, guys, good morning. Today we got a 2015 Ford Fusion, and the reason why this bad boy is over here is because the customer complaint is that it has a noise coming out of the transmission, kind of like if a bad bearing, like there was a bad bearing inside the transmission. So
And it sounds like a power steering pump.
like a power steering pump almost, right? So
That is the sound that we're talking about.
alright guys, so as you can hear it, you hear the power steering noise noise it's making.
Transmission.
But it sounds like a
It
power
sounds like-
steering,
yeah.
So, you could think it's a power steering, but it's really not. So, also when you put it in any gear, let's say we go in reverse, it gets worse. Like over there, neutral kind of goes away a little bit, but it's here. And you go back to drive, and you hear that one? The owner did some research himself, and he told us that these cars have these bearings inside the transmission that tend to go bad. Actually, I think there's a TBS for these specific problems. I haven't read it, and I haven't done a lot of research, but I'm sure this is something we can do. We're gonna remove the transmission. We're gonna look at the bearings. We're gonna replace the bearings that are faulty. He supplied his own bearings, and this was something that I wasn't able to get with my supplier. All these bearings right here, there's a lot of them. So
How many? Like
I don't
7,
know,
8?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 that I can count.
I hope we don't need all of them.
We hope we don't need all of them, but anyways, step one, when working at a hybrid, there's always, come in the back over here, not all hybrids are built the same, so make sure you do your research prior to start working on the car. This hybrid system works with a very high voltage system, and the first thing we got to do, I should be wearing my rubber gloves, but I'm not, so we're gonna come over here and we're gonna remove the skin, and this is gonna disable the power or the high voltage to the forward inverter. So make sure that stays there disconnected. And this is the first step always before start working on any hybrids. So we're safe now. So we're good now. All right. And then we're gonna keep you updated as the process goes, and then we'll see what kind of problems we run into, how easy it is or how hard it is. Just by looking at the opening the hood, this does not look easy. But anyways.
All right. Vámonos.
So the first thing we're gonna do, so the power inverter is sitting directly on top of the transmission. So for us to have access to all the bolts on the
Bell housing?
on the bell housing, we're gonna have to remove the power inverter. Yes, it has to come all the way out. So the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna clear some room. We're gonna remove the intake or the intake pipe. Then we're gonna remove the engine cover. Then we're gonna start disconnecting things like this connector right here. We're gonna disconnect the coolant lines. We're gonna disconnect a couple hoses over here. So this is stuff that you might not need to see step by step, but the first thing, like what I gotta say here, but the first thing we gotta do is remove the power inverter out of the way so that we're able to get to the bell housing. So that's step one.
And don't forget to disconnect the regular battery as well.
That's right.
You gotta remove the fuse for the hybrid system and the battery, the regular battery. Then you're not gonna have any other problems. Let's do it.
So guys, we're back here with you. As of now, we have removed the inverter. And as you can see, I'm still alive, so that's good stuff. That's good stuff. So inverter has been removed out of the ways. What do you need to do to remove the inverter? So what we need to do, we need to remove the high voltage wires. Most of them are gonna be held by, I think the heads are gonna be an 8mm head. There's gonna hold the wires to the power inverter. We also need to remove the coolant lines. I took off the inverter with the reservoir, with the coolant reservoir. I didn't want to deattach it because it's not necessary. Also, we need to do these two plugs right here, 1 and 2. They're gonna be on the very back. It looks complicated, but it's not as bad. So as long as you guys take your precautions and you are very careful when you're handling this system, you should be all right. The next step is gonna be to remove the inverter base, and that's gonna free up all this room for me to be able to get down here and remove this bolt right here. So I'll catch you when I get this up. Well, my guys, the next step to get access to the fucking shooting cuts. To the next step to get access to the bell housing is remove what they call the thermostat housing. This is the thermostat housing. This is located between the transmission and the engine, just right here, right? And it's gonna have 4 bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's gonna have 3 hoses. It's gonna have this one, and the main one over here.
And shout out to Ford for the design.
The design is so to remove this bolt and this one is extremely easy. To remove this one right here, it's long. It's extremely hard. At some point, I wanted to tell my friend, my brother, to connect the hybrid system back up so I can get electrocuted and not have to do it no more. But you know, I got it. So it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard.
How much do you think you would spend on time replacing that thermostat?
If somebody asked me to replace the thermostat housing or the thermostat gasket on a car like this, I would probably charge. I'll probably charge 4.5 hours.
4.5 hours.
I don't know how much.
Is this thermostat? No, it's not a thermostat.
Well, they call it like a housing. It's like a split pipe.
Oh, okay.
Thermostat housing. Yeah. I keep saying thermostat housing because that's what it looks like, but it's really not, right? It's just like a distribution pipe, I guess. So that's what it is. So that's your next step to be able to get access to these bolts. And from here on, we're gonna proceed to disconnect the shifting cable, and then we're gonna remove 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts. So we're gonna do that, and I think that's gonna be about it. And then this mount right here, and that's gonna be it on top. And then the next step is gonna be, if you thought it was easy, right? The next step is gonna be to remove the subframe.
The whole subframe.
You have to remove the subframe to be able to remove the transmission from the bottom, because this bracket right here makes it impossible. Watch out. It's gonna make it impossible to bring the transmission up. Then we're probably gonna pull the transmission with this cable right here. I think this one is this one right here, so we're not gonna mess with it right here. We're just gonna bring it down with it. So not a big deal.
So the other day, let me think about. I was watching a guy who was replacing a clutch on an old Toyota. I don't know what year was that thing, and he said that it was impossible to take the transmission out without cutting the frame. So he had to cut the frame, and he welded back. Do you think it's gonna be possible if we do that?
Hey, we might have to cut the car. If we get to that point, I'm not gonna record it. Just know it's gonna be done right. All right, sounds good. Well, next, let's get moving.
Okay, what we're gonna do next is taking the spindle nuts off both axles. Remove the bolts for the knuckle that holds the ball joint and the tie rods as well, outer tie rods, and we are going to remove this transmission mount with everything, the transmission mount and base. Take the axle off. These 3 bolts, that one, the one that goes here on top. There's the second one, and there's another one over here. So all of them. We're gonna have to remove this. I think this is thermostat housing. So we're gonna have to take this bolt off, and that one off. Those are 8 mil. The head is 8 mil. Take them off. Transmission lines. Take this bolt out and take them out. Shifter cable. Remove that one too. This axle has to be removed as well. And yeah, looks like we're gonna have to remove this subframe out of it, because the subframe is right here and it's not gonna let the transmission come out. We'll give it a try, but if not, I'm gonna have to at least to drop it down a little bit and see what happens.
So today is a part 2. Well, it's not a part 2, it's a part 1000, I guess. As you can see, for those of you who thought it was gonna be easy, I mean, compared to a Ford Escape, on this case, the transmission, but the software has to come off, right? So as you can see, we got the subframe over here. To remove the subframe, obviously you're gonna have to undo all the suspension components. This specific car has an electric steering rack, so make sure that you undo all the connectors so you don't rip the wires off. And after you do that, then you're gonna start loosening the four big bolts that hold the subframe to the car. Be very careful when doing this process. If you're working on a lift, make sure the car is secure, make sure the engine is secure, and obviously, you know, safety first. And over here, I mean, we're getting very close to removing the transmission. We're gonna start undoing all the belt housing bolts, and then we're gonna start to remove it. So yeah, we're getting very close. maybe I want to say within today and tomorrow we're gonna start opening the transmission assembly, and we're gonna start looking at the bearings and see which ones are bad.
All right.
All right, friends, as you can see, the transmission assembly is already out, and I'm gonna tell you one thing. If you're a DIYer or a beginner mechanic, or you're the guy that does this on the weekends, with basic tools and blah, blah, blah.
Mecánico dominguero.
Yeah, I would say. I honestly, you might be able to do it. I don't recommend you do it, right? I think this is something you leave for the professionals or for somebody who has a little more equipment. Also, we're not responsible for, if you get electrocuted or you drop transmission on the floor, we're not responsible. We're not, this channel is not certified to give you advice. It's just for entertainment purposes. So, we got transmission assembly out. We're gonna let the oil drain for a little bit, make sure that it's dry. And then we're gonna start removing all the housing bolts over here. And we're gonna start splitting the assembly. And hopefully that's gonna give us access to, or it's gonna expose all the bearings that we have to replace. So stay tuned. Stay tuned for what's coming. If we find something very, very obvious or something that, it's kind of cool, obviously we're gonna show in the video. Stay tuned, brothers. All right, friends. Well, the transmission assembly is already, like I say, out of the car. Like I said in the previous video, we removed the transmission assembly, and now we have it here on the bench. We proceeded to remove all the bolts that hold the cover to the transmission assembly. Once that cover is removed, looks like that. Don't mind my shit sandwich over here I got going on. Don't mind that. We're gonna clean it up real nice. So that leaves us exposed with this assembly. And at a first look, I came and spun this bearing, and it sounds fine. And I spun this bearing, and even though it doesn't spin as freely as that one, doesn't make any weird noises. So I'm gonna say that's fine. And then we come over here, and what do you know? Look at that. First of all, look at this. And second of all, can you hear this? And you can see there all that damage. So obviously this is the culprit. This is the one that is making
Actually, maybe not.
What do you mean?
Because when the car is not running, the engine is running, but the car is not, the wheels are not turning. They're gonna stay stopped until you put on drive and the car runs. Then the differential spins. So this is part of it. I'm pretty sure that the ones that are gonna be bad are gonna be.
But how do we know that that's because of the hybrid system? I don't know how the transmission works.
Because when you have the engine running, what is gonna be running is gonna be turning. Is gonna be this one, and then when you put it in gear, then the rest of them spin, and then this one spin. So I would say the ones that are bad is gonna be either that one, maybe, or maybe not that one, but the one is right on this shaft or on the other side. That's my guessing. We will see. But that one for sure is bad. So I'm pretty sure that it will be that one and that one, but we'll see. We're gonna have to open it.
Okay, sounds good.
At least we found a bad bearing, and we'll see how the other ones looks like. And this is a good time to replace the filter.
It's always a good time to replace the filter.
So,
all right, friends and family, we'll see you in the next chapter.
All right, so we're in the next day. We were not planning to take almost the whole transmission apart, but we noticed that most of the time when these transmissions make that sound, or those sounds coming from the transmission bearings, has to do with this stator bearings, like this one. This one is making the sound right now. Maybe you guys can hear it, but you can feel it right here when the bearing is bad. So this is from the stator that goes over here, and this is the outer one that goes on the back of the transmission. This one has to be replaced. There's another one over here. This one doesn't feel too bad. And this is the other stator. I don't know if this is stator or motor, but I think the stator, that's how they call them. And there's another one over here. So what we did is take them both out of the transmission just to make sure they are in good shape, or if they were bad, replace them. We do have all the most of them, the bearings that we need right here. So in a bit we're gonna show you guys some of the part numbers and how we're going to take them off. This is the baddest one that we found on the differential of the transmission. As you can see, maybe you can see clearly. Oh, holy moly. Okay, here you can see the damage all around. So we're gonna replace that one as well, both sides, and I hope we have all the bearings that we need. If not, we'll see what we can do. Let's go. Ok, bueno, lo que estamos viendo aquí es que sí tenemos los valeros. Externamente son el mismo, internamente son el mismo. Pero ¿qué pasa? Ok, ahí se siente bien. Este iría a este lado de la cubierta, que sería esta. También queda bien. Excelente. Pero ¿qué pasa? Que estos valeros traen una cubierta de goma. Lo que vamos a hacer es proceder a retirar estas cubiertas de goma para dejarlos expuestos, para que entre el aceite y los lubrique. De lo contrario se pueden afectar. No hay más, lo vamos a hacer con mucho cuidado, sin lastimar el valero o las balas del valero. Yo lo he hecho y ya nunca he tenido un solo problema. So, like I said, now we are going to remove these covers. See this one? So we're gonna take it off, and we're gonna take the other side off as well, just to match. So they match. I'm gonna take this cover off. Watch your fingers. Take it off. You see? Now you don't need these ones. We're gonna put in all these used bearings over there, and now put the bearing back to the transmission. So what we're gonna do right now is find something to put in here, something that has like this. See, it's the same big as the internal on the bearing. Turn this thing. I got a mess for everywhere. Sorry about that. This thing is heavy. Yeah, it is heavy. So what we're gonna do here, the hammer, there you go. This is the first one. We're gonna do the same with the other side. Exact same with the other side. Oh, damn it. It's heavy. The exact same thing. The exact same thing. 17? No. Oh yeah, 17. So, here we go. There you go. It's coming. Watch your foot. Ahí está. Perfecto. So put this thing over here for now. I'm sure that I'm gonna need it one more time. So let's match which is gonna be the bearing that we need for that side. Looks like it's gonna be this one. 6908 DDUCM. Perfecto. Vamos poniendo eso ahí. Take it out of the bag. You match? Yep. It's exact the same as the other one, so both are the same. Now you go over here, would be over here. Just make sure that it fits over here. Yeah, looks like it's gonna fit. Same thing, we're gonna do the same thing. remove the cover and put it back together. So take this cover off. One more. Okay. And one more. Okay. Now do the same thing. Same thing. Watch out with these cables. If we break these cables or we mess them up, then we already failed the mission. So right there. Perfecto. Listo. Now primos, what we're gonna do, okay, we're gonna do the same with this one. So these ones were not too bad, but anyways, we have them, so we'll replace them. This is the one that is bad, that one. So let's go ahead and replace that one. Okay, thing I was using in the center, I was putting a bolt with a washer that it was too big, so I changed that, and now the bearing is coming out. There you go. Here's the first one. And on and on and on. That's how we're gonna do it. All right, so we do have both stators I think is the name, on position. So they're on. New bearings. What's next? Obviously, what is next is putting the connectors. This is gonna be the first one. This thing goes right here. Perfect. But this is how it has to be installed. Same thing with the other one. Cables right here, plates right here. So we're gonna clean this up and put it upside down, because we're gonna start putting new bearings on the other side, on the other components, and put it back together. Let's go. All right, locos. So we're about to put this one, the new one. What's the name of this thing? Right? Mm-hmm. Bearing right. So put it on it. We already took the other one out, which is this one. So same thing. Grab something straight. Just gonna go move it all around. Looking good. Not too good. So let's focus on this one. There you go. Now. That is solid. Then we're gonna use the old one.
Want to know what it is?
Right there, right in the middle.
Matrix is everywhere.
Then
It is all around us. Even now, in this very room, you can see
you go.
when you look out your window.
we are
Or when
there.
you turn on your television.
Just want to make sure
You can feel it.
it is someplace. It's someplace. So
When you
what's next?
What is next?
Yeah, we're going to replace these differential
bearings.
bearings.
Okay,
So let's see.
this is the bad one. Right?
Yeah, let's see how tight it is. Get it. So now, we didn't want that, but anyways, it is. It came apart, so we're gonna use this tractor to get some access here and bring it out.
Well, guys, we're back, and we're getting to the final steps of the transmission assembly. As you can see, everything, all the surfaces are already clean. When doing your sealing, make sure that your surfaces are 100% clean, free of any grease, free of any chemical. They have to be 100% clean. I usually do my final cleaning with acetone, but you can use like a thinner or other stuff that is approved for final cleaning. Over here, my brother already has the silicone on the edge, or on the whole edge where the surfaces are gonna mate. So that's prepped and ready to roll. So now he's going to go ahead and sandwich it together. Okay, make sure these O-rings are good and lubricated. I'm gonna lubricate mine with some oil. Those are lubrication rings. Those rings, or not the rings, but the little nipples are lubrication nipples, and they will provide lubrication to these bearings right here. So put a little bit of oil on, barely. Okay. Now, okay, surface 100% clean. It's time. Let's go ahead and sandwich it. This is what a shit sandwich looks like. Yeah. Okay. Use this tool gently with a dead blow hammer. We're gonna tap it. Now when the surfaces are meeting each other, we're gonna do a little inspection all the way around and make sure there's no obvious gaps, because once we put the bolts on, we don't want the bolts cracking the cover. Also, make sure you follow the manufacturer specifications for the torque and the torque procedure, the sequence, right? We don't want to torque it in a sequence that is not right. So let's go ahead and we're gonna show you the other side when it's already when we're ready to install the covers as well. All right, friends, and now we have completed the other side. So we already verified that everything is where it's supposed to be. We double check connections. We clean all of our surfaces with acetone, ready to roll. Make sure that the transmission is not locked up. Make sure the mechanism spins freely. Make sure this one right here spins freely. Yep, that's me. Right. And then on the cover, we gotta make sure that our seal is continuous with no voids or spaces in between. So verify your seal, verify your mating surfaces, verify your connections, bolts, all your torque and everything. And when you're ready to roll, you're ready to roll.
Do you want to know what it is? The matrix. It is all around us. Even now, in this very
Solid here. Now, what I would recommend you guys do the vice grips without damaging the shaft. Correct. And make sure that this spins freely. Then go ahead and put all the bolts around and torque them down. And when torquing, again, make sure there's no big gaps, because if your cover gets sandwiched the wrong way, you can break it when you start torquing the bolts. So we gotta make sure that everything is settled down the way it's supposed to be. When doing the torque, you want to verify for a little bit of steel squeeze out, and then always follow the manufacturer specifications for torque sequence and the torque values. All right, girls and guys and non-binary pals, here we are. So we got the subframe on jackstones right up on the table. The table's got some wheels on it so we can move it around. Car is on the air. Next step is to line up the subframe to the mounting bolts. Like, as you guys can see, the transmission is already hanging up there. We already did all the belt housing bolts. We did the fuse box on top. We did some connectors on top, but we're not 100% done. So the next step is to install the subframe. once the subframe is bolted on, or at least pointed, we're gonna do the steering shaft. We're gonna do all the electrical wires that we remove, and then we're gonna make a plan about how we're gonna go about, you know, going over every single bolt that we remove, every single system that we disturb. We're gonna make sure that we're gonna go over everything to make sure every bolt is tight, and you know, nothing is missing or nothing is loose. So yeah, guys, this is where we at. I'll you know, catch me for an update, and the next update is gonna be when the subframe is stopped, maybe when the car is running. I don't know. We'll see what we do. Okay, my guys, so the transmission is on. Let me get the flashlight real quick. Okay, so over here we got a little disclaimer to make. My brother had to fabricate or improvise this engine support, since there's no solid points to attach the engine hoist or engine supports, right? Yep. So we had to go from strut tower to strut tower, right? But at the same time, the hooking point is right in the middle. So he had to come up with this tool right here, and so far it's working great. To be able to locate the transmission to the engine, we had to go from down below. So pretty much put the transmission on a little cart down there, and then we lower the car, and then hook the transmission with the freaking engine hoist, and you just pulled it up. It's kind of a chore if you don't have two people. I'm sure it's possible to do only one person, but you guys, if some of you are trying to do this job, there's only one person, you guys are going to struggle a little bit. It's not impossible, it's just a little bit hard. Just make sure that when you're locating, you got your dowel pins so the transmission is not rotated. Make sure to not to clamp any wires or coolant hoses or none of that stuff. And yeah, just take your time and be patient, and you get it. Well, look guys, we're back with you. As you can see, the hybrid system is all put together. It's all assembled. We have not charged the cooling system. We have not bled the cooling system, so that's yet to be done. I do want to make sure that when the car starts, it doesn't make that noise anymore. So that's the first thing I want to do. Start it. It's gonna be the first startup since we put the transmission together. Yeah. So, how many quarts of oil do you use? According to the specification, it takes the what's the Merkin? It's gonna be the Merkin LV automatic transmission fluid. It takes 5.7 quarts. That's the total capacity when the transmission is 100% empty, which this was 100% empty. So we already supplied power to the inverter back there, so that's already done. We connected the battery, and follow me, please. Holy guacamole! By the way, this is the filter. I think I already showed it to you guys in the previous video. So even Javi is nervous. Javi's been nervous. He's nervous too. I don't think he gives a shit. So cross your fingers, and the car should be running right there, or start, or hybrid should be started. Put the car in gear, and I'm gonna release the brake. Okay, hybrid system is working. The hybrid system is working. I do not hear any noises so far, but I'm not gonna say I did it just yet. We just need to hear the engine running. I need to hear the engine running, 1, and 2. I need to take it to the road. I need to do a little test drive. Yep. If this car passes both the test drive test and then the power on or engine on test, I'll call it a fix. I would say leave it running till the gasoline engine start up, just to hear how it sounds. Also, this is probably gonna be the last video. I don't know that I'm gonna do another video after this. Anyways, we're gonna head for the engine to run. Again, happy Thanksgiving. And if you wanna show us over here, I'm not gonna talk about this, but this is gonna be the next project. It's the Mercedes-Benz V12. We're doing spark plugs. That's the story for a different day. Right on. Vámonos!